Left, right.
I don't see why I should have to be the one down here in the cold and the dark and the damp. Hey, I'm going to the bear pits tomorrow. You want to come with? Couldn't pay me enough. What? You soft-eyed.
How's it going?
Inside at last.
I've been thinking. The circuit could really beef up security some.
What do you mean? What's wrong with us?
Well, we're fine. But I've been thinking we should watch the outsides more.
That's stupid. People to worry about there on the inside.
No, then you catch them before they get inside, you taffer.
Oh.
Wouldn't Newmarket love that?
Someone there?
Huh? Stop right. the Hammers are gonna close down Craig's Bluff.
Yeah, he's tapping you. Where are they gonna put the poor saps they grabbed?
Dunno. Toss them into a well or something. Anyhow, they just don't have enough guys no more.
Kinda sad. Used to be the power. Now they're just a bunch of guys wishing for the old days.
Hello? Is someone there? Who goes there? Too much coffee this morning. I'm sleepy as hell.
Down in the cellar again, counting his loot. I hope he stays down there all night.
Think anything will happen?
Probably not. But don't soft up, though.
Not me.
All right, I hear you. Come out in the open at once. Something there. Oh well. Let's do nothing.
That was your last chance! Thought I saw something. Don't move! This is gonna be fun. Ah! There!
What's going on over there?
As soon as I find you, you're dead. Get the tabber! That was your last chance! Hello? Is someone there? Seems quiet enough now. Oh well. Oh well. Guess it was nothing. Hello? Show yourself. Imagining things. Thought I saw something. Nothing making noise now. All right, going on?
Time to take my new sword and get out of this crazy place. How can the Keepers keep this place a secret? Anybody home?